Hey guys, what's up? Inazilla back again today with another top 10 list. Today's topic is the best dark types in Sword and Shield. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It not only helps the channel grow, but helps you stay updated on my latest content. Dark types are very interesting. And spoiler alert, but not really, we don't count any illegal mythicals or legendaries that you can't bring onto the rank ladders. Why? Because they're not legal, that's why, so no Zarude. Anyways, let's get into it. Oh yeah, and these aren't in any particular order. I forgot to mention that in the bug types video. TYRANITAR. This should not come to any surprise to anybody, but TYRANITAR, especially this generation with Dynamax, is really freaking good. Let me explain. Its ability Sandstream creates a Sandstorm for 5 turns. Sandstorm not only does damage to Pokemon that aren't Rock, Steel, or Ground types, but it makes Rock types 50% more resistant to special attacks. That's actually kind of busted. A +2 special attack Modest Blastoise using G-Max Cannonade fails to get the one-shot because of this. Just to put it into perspective. And so a common strategy with TYRANITAR is to run it in Trick Room with something like a Dusclops with Bulldoze, so basically the Rhyperior or Dragalge strategy. But with TYRANITAR instead. Some wacko people just use their Excadrill and go for Earthquake to proc the policy and Dynamax a T-Tar in the same turn. Sure, it does a ton of damage, but the TYRANITAR is now going to pretty much kill everything. Oh yeah, and Sand provided Excadrill and a few select other Pokemon with Sand Rush boosts. Sand Rush doubles the speed of Pokemon using this ability in Sand, so not only can it act as a mega bulky sweeper, but it provides for its teammates in a spectacular way too. I've even run into Dragon Dancing TYRANITARs in doubles too, because with Fake Out and Redirection support it can pull that off. Now it's faster than everything, flinches everything with Rock Slide, and still takes hits like a boss. I used to run a Trick Eject Button Grimmsnarl and a Scarf Slide TYRANITAR, so that I could trick the Eject Pack onto a Pokemon I find threatening and then force it out with a fast Rock Slide. I missed Rock Slides a lot more than 90%, but aside from my misfortunes, it's a good strategy. If you've seen my Salty Pokemon Showdown video, you'll see I've adapted this strategy to be more reliable, and sadly it's without TYRANITAR. Oh well. As for singles, it pretty much does the same thing, that pretty much all have weakness policy, because it's so good at baiting and taking super effective hits. It gets its attack power doubled and then proceeds to just plow through all the teams with without a physical fighting type. I guess TYRANITAR is a reason I love Conkeldurr so much. Anyways, it's time to move on to Crocodile. This generation has been kind to Crocodile. How? Well, let me explain before you click off this video. Dynamax helps Crocodile shine for one. You can abuse Moxie just as you could in any other generation, slap a Scarf or Life Orb on it and just smash through teams, and go big when you feel you need to. But now thanks to Urshifu, the Dark type one, Anger Point is now very viable. How? What? Okay, in doubles. Choice Scarf Urshifu Wicked Blow into Anger Point Crocodile using Rock Slide can result in a double KO, or just tons and tons of damage and possible flinches. The drawbacks to this strategy are if the opponent has faster Pokemon than you might have to alter your strategy, and Follow Me wouldn't be appreciated either. But basically, you proc Anger Point with Urshifu, get a KO or two, then Dynamax Urshifu the next turn for Max Airstream because Crocodile has no way of using it. Now you're at +6 attack and +1 speed, and most of the time this will result in an easy win. I've explained this in greater detail in my Crocodile moveset video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't. Intimidate is a great ability too, honestly, and lets Crocodile work more as a utility Pokemon with decently fast Rock Slides and stuff like that. MANDIBUZ. MANDIBUZ is a heavily underrated and underappreciated Pokemon. The fact that it gets Overcoat is just one reason why. That and it's super bulky. Let's take a look at its base stats. 110 hit points paired with 105 defense and 95 special defense. That's actually ridiculous. MANDIBUZ makes for a really good check to Venusaur Sun teams. Why? Well, it's 100% immune to Sleep Powder because of Overcoat. It resists its Grass Stab and doesn't care much about Weather Ball or Sludge Ball if you fully invest in its special defense. And because of its Flying type, it doesn't really care about Earth Power either. You can legit just roost your way through all 3 turns of Dynamax. Although the Venusaur will get some special attack boost from Matsu's. But another Dynamax is done, and I call that a win. It's more than just a Venusaur check though. It's one of very few Pokemon in this generation that can Toxic Stall. If you breed MANDIBUZ down from one from an older game that knows Toxic, it will get Toxic again. Access to Roost means it has very reliable sustainability. It can taunt, knock off, U-turn, or even iron defense. You could even try a weak armor nasty plot set, but you're working off of a base 55 special attack. It's not totally unviable though. MANDIBUZ is so tanky that while you're setting up that nasty plot and tanking a super effective physical attack, running the weakness policy on it is actually a very good idea. Now with that nasty plot and policy proc, you're at +4 special attack. If your special attack is maxed out, that gives you 351 special attack at level 50. Weak armor also has activating, doubling your speed. Now it's sweeping time. The downfall of this strategy though is while weak armor doubles your speed, it also drops your defense stat by 1 stage, and you're totally relying on your opponent hitting you with a super effective physical attacks, so it's not the most reliable, but when it goes off it's deadly. Obstagoon. Obstagoon may not seem like it, but it's an incredible wall breaker. May not have the tools to sweep, but it can poke huge holes in unsuspecting teams. It's most commonly used as a guts wall breaker, so most people just run Obstruct to proc Flame Orb and reduce opposing Pokemon's defense, more than likely forcing a switch, then hit things really hard with Stab, Sod, something which Luxray wish it had. Oh, your Ghost type think it's a safe switch in? Lol, knock off. Okay, how about a Rock or Steel type? Lol, close combat. If you want to, you can even stick Bulk up on the moveset instead of Obstruct so it can hit harder more consistently. Its other abilities are super useful as well, but Guts is probably the best. It can abuse Reckless with Choice Band at Double Edge, or even abuse Defiant. I honestly forgot it has that, and I made a video all about it a little while ago. Defiant gives you +2 attack whenever your stats have been lowered by an opposing Pokemon, so Intimidate abusers have to think twice about coming in and dropping your attack. Oh, I just thought of something. You know how Incineroar lets us switch in and out of battle with Intimidate and Parting Shot? Well, Obstagoon seems to be the perfect counter to that, especially with Obstruct. I'm going to have to seriously consider trying this in doubles. Anyways, time to move on to Grimmsnarl. Oh man, what can't Grimmsnarl do? It's most famous for being a very safe and reliable screen setter in both doubles and singles. Its Prankster ability grants it that ability. It can also abuse Thunder Wave, and most screen setting Grimmsnarl do. It's a lot more reliable than Meowstic in this regard because it is so much tankier and has a very useful dual typing of Dark and Fairy. But Grimmsnarl can do much more than just set screens and paralyze things. It can also abuse Bulk Up or even Nasty Plot to set up and attempt to sweep. And it also has a Gigantamax form. If you're running a physical Bulk Up one, you're probably going to want the Gigantamax version, as its max move has a 50% chance to make the opponent drowsy. While regular Max Darkness just simply drops the opponent's special defense, which is more useful for a special attacker like Nasty Plot Grimmsnarl. So we learned that Grimmsnarl can be a great screen setter and even be a potential sweeper, but we didn't even talk about its most comical set. I've showcased it in a video or two before, and it's a trick eject button set. What you do is trick an eject button onto a threatening Pokemon in doubles and hit it with a partner Pokemon to force it out of battle. And it's amazing that you can nail a Pokemon that's already Dynamaxed. I used to run a Choice Band Trick 1 in the beginning of Sword and Shield to completely neuter my opponent's defensive Pokemon, and then set up on them later in battle. That was actually really funny. Long story short, Grimmsnarl is a terrific Pokemon. HYDREIGON. It may not seem like it, but HYDREIGON is a pretty good Pokemon. Is it the best? Well, no. But it loves common tanky Pokemon like Toxapex because it can set up a substitute in its face and then Nasty Plot up. In fact, that's probably its best set. People can run it Scarf for specs, but there's better Pokemon for that honestly. If you remember my Dragons list, HYDREIGON made that too. But I'm not going to not count it here because it made that list. That makes no sense to me. Another cool thing that HYDREIGON can do is fool people into thinking it's a special attacker, but you're actually running a Dragon Dance set. Sure, its attack isn't the most usable, sitting at base 105 compared to 125 special attack, but it's good enough that you can get some surprise KOs, and its bulk is good enough that you can and will get 1 or 2 Dragon Dances off when you really need to. Oh, they got a Fairy type? That Roselli Berry that you should be holding is going to reduce that damage. Then you bop them with a max Steel Spike and boom, threat gone, and now you're bulkier too. Problem solved. Incineroar. Intimidate? Check. Snarl? Check. Parting Shot? Check. Fake Out? Check. Really good bulk? Check. Incineroar has all the tools it needs to be a super annoying disruptive Pokemon in doubles. So much so that its usage was so high that it had to be removed from the meta for a whole ranked battle season. That's just how good it is. It can also use the infamous Trick Room and Bulldoze strategy paired with a Dusclops set. Yes, you guessed it. Sets up Trick Room, then Bulldoze is the next turn to proc your weakness policy, and make you slower to guarantee it goes first the next few turns. This strategy is probably left better off for Tyranitar, Rhyperior, or Dragalge, but it's still viable and works well due to having Intimidate. Although Intimidate can bite you in the butt sometimes because of contrary, competitive, and defiant Pokemon. As for singles, I may not see a ton of usage there, and probably won't because these tools it has aren't nearly as valuable there. But it did run into a weakness policy one not long ago that wrecked my team because it dropped my attack, and then took a reduced super effective hit, and then Dynamax, and then proceeded to sweep because I wasn't able to overcome this huge hole that I got myself into, so that's pretty cool. Sableye. Sorry, excuse me. Sableye. Prankster Pokemon are awesome. Sableye is no exception. Gen 7 did kind of ruin them a little bit by making it so dark types are immune to prankster moves, which was a serious mistake they have to fix someday. They probably won't. While you're at it, Game Freak, fix Thunder Wave 2. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Sableye gets access to Prankster Will-O-Wisp. Sableye may not be the bulkiest Pokemon, but it will take physical hits so good after it's burned its opponent. It can also taunt and even abuse Encore now. Although I still believe Whimsicott is the best Encore user because of its access to Leech Seed. Sableye only has one weakness too. It hates fairy types, so try your best to keep it away from those. Other awesome moves it gets and abuses are Recover, Fake Out, Quash, which is very effective in doubles, Rain Dance, Sunny Day, Foul Play, Ally Switch, Snarl, and Helping Hand. If I ever get around to making a Sableye moveset video, I'll go more into depth about what these moves do and what it does for its team. But it's very diverse and can handle all sorts of different situations. Umbreon. Extreme Bulk and Yawn. Umbreon is quite possibly one of the most annoying Pokemon in the whole game. Funny how so many of the annoying Pokemon are Dark types, eh? Mandibuzz, Grimmsnarl, Incineroar, Sableye, now we're talking about Umbreon. Oh, you want to boost your attack to try to deal more damage to Umbreon? Here, have a nice foul play with that. I didn't even mention that Umbreon gets Wish and can pass off health to its teammates that way, ensuring that you can switch in safely. It also gets Taunt too. Umbreon just keeps looking better and better. In doubles, you'll see them running Snarl to drop your special attack, but that's pretty much all it can do. It doesn't have the offensive stats to do much damage, nor the learn set to do anything that way either. And it's very vulnerable to fighting types, and especially fairy types, so you can just Dynamax into Starfall to summon Misty Terrain and nullify your Yawn. So, while being awesome, it's not perfect, but guess what? Nobody and no Pokemon are perfect either. Next, and definitely not least, is Urshifu, our favorite new Kung Fu Panda. Oh, that's Pangoro? Oh, okay. I guess Urshifu resembles a bear more anyways. Pandas are technically raccoons. That, and the part of its name refers to the Latin word for bear. So I guess we're talking about Single Strike Urshifu as it's the Dark type one. Rapid Strike is Water type. So why did Urshifu make this list over all the other good Dark types like Weavile or Zoroark? Urshifu hits really hard, has good coverage, and is a physical beast. Its Unseen Fist ability allows it to hit through Protect, and its G-Max move does the same thing through Max Guard. It has access to Airstream for speed, letting it attempt to sweep, Max Knuckle for added sweeping potential, Thunder Punch for those pesky water types, turning into Max Lightning to prevent sleep, Iron Head to flinch stuff, hit fairies for super effective damage and boosts its defense if used as Max Steel Spike. Its signature move, Wicked Blow, always results in a critical hit, allowing it to bypass annoying defense set up Pokemon like Drifblim. It can learn Taunt, Bulk Up, and Counter too. Needs Psychic coverage? Zen Headbutt! It can learn the other two Elemental Punches as well as Rock Slide. Urshifu has such a great move pool, and yet a lot of the time I run into them using just the Rapid Strike version with Counter and Aqua Jet just to pick off Focus Sashers. Real men and women use Single Strike Urshifu and Sweep. Anyways, that's it I guess. This video isn't over yet. we still got the honorable mentions. Like the bugs list, this one was difficult to make as well, but for a completely different reason. There weren't enough good bugs to pick from, but I feel like these dark types that didn't make it easily could have if I wrote the script on a different day. So, without further ado, Bisharp. Bisharp's a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as it used to be. It's in a weird speed tier and relies on Sucker Punch to do a lot of its damage. Defiant's a great ability, and there's a reason people use my low token Braviary over Bisharp in doubles. Zoroark. Zoroark? It's a pretty cool Pokemon, and a lot of people get excited when it returned in the Isle of Armor. But in my opinion, it's gimmicky at best and shouldn't really be taken too seriously. Its ability lets it appear to be the last Pokemon in the player's party. Okay, but it's very frail and can't take very many hits. It can fool you into hitting it with a not very effective move, buying it a turn to set up for its teammates in doubles, but that's about it. Any skilled player will see a Zoroark in team preview and know exactly what it's up to and handle it accordingly. So, Zoroark cool, yet too gimmicky. Mimikyu is what Zoroark wants to be. Malamar. Sorry, excuse me. I like Malamar, but it's so slow to be really effective really quickly, and it's somehow too fast for Trick Room. Anyways, Contrary Superpower is really nice for it, and its move pool provides it some good coverage to handle different situations, but its speed stat will always be its downfall. It gets Topsy Turvy too, which is a really neat move that flip-flops the target stats. What I mean is that your Haxorus with 2 Dragon Dances now has -2 speed and attack, and is now utterly useless. Crawdaunt. Adaptability boost of water and dark moves are scary. It can Dragon Dance and try to sweep, keyword try. It can Swords Dance and poke holes on teams with Aqua Jet, but that's about it. It's so slow that even after a Dragon Dance or 2, it's still slower than lots of Pokemon and has a hard time doing too much damage. It has a limited move pool and is pretty frail for such a slow Pokemon. On the other hand, I did find a shiny one while attack EV training in Abzu's Eye the other day, so that's cool. Weavile. Another case of, it's not what it used to be. Weavile is pretty darn fast and hits pretty darn hard, but Galarian Darmanitan does ice damage better, and Dark types got a soft nerf this generation by limiting the amount of Pokemon that can learn Knockoff. Sure, you can transfer in an old Weavile with Knockoff, but you can't use it in any ranked format, so who cares? Technician Triple Axle is a really nice buff it got though. And there's a cool gimmicky strategy where Dragapult uses Infestation on his teammate Weavile to proc Weakness Policy. Then Weavile's Pickpocket ability procs, steals Dragapult's Life Orb, and then Dynamaxes and just smashes the opposing Pokemon, so that's cool. So that's it for the video, guys and gals. What do you think of this list? What Pokemon should I have included or excluded? What's your list look like? Comment down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more too. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.